Hey everyone, today I'm bringing you a fantasy, suspense, and a bit of science fiction movie released in 2008, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Now, enjoy! Our story begins with David Rice, an ordinary teenager living in a small rural town until an extraordinary incident changes his life forever. But before we dive into that, let's rewind a bit. After gifting Millie, his crush, with a snow globe, a bully named Mark throws the present onto a frozen lake, prompting David to retrieve it. Despite Millie's warnings, David ventures onto the ice, which breaks and plunges him into the freezing water. In a surreal twist reminiscent of The Matrix, he suddenly finds himself in the middle of the public library, soaked and disoriented. As David grapples with his newfound ability to teleport, he realizes this might be his chance for a better life, away from his authoritarian father, William. David's discovery of his teleportation powers leads him to explore his potential, much like Neo mastering his abilities in The Matrix. He begins testing his limits, teleporting to familiar places and eventually using his skills for personal gain. His first major heist is at a bank, where he effortlessly bypasses security to rob the vault. Enter Roland Cox, a sinister figure reminiscent of Agent Smith, who starts piecing together the mystery of the robbery, suspecting the involvement of a teleporter. Roland's hunt for jumpers like David turns deadly, as he believes they are abominations that must be exterminated. Years later, David lives a life of luxury in New York, enjoying his powers without a care in the world. However, his carefree existence is interrupted when Roland tracks him down, leading to a fierce confrontation that leaves David wounded and on the run. Desperate, he seeks refuge in his old room at his father's house, where a brief but poignant reunion with William highlights the emotional impact of his abilities. David's reunion with Millie reignites his desire for a normal life, but he soon learns that his actions have consequences, attracting old enemies and new allies into a dangerous game. David takes Millie to Rome, hoping for a romantic getaway, only to find themselves hunted by the relentless Roland and his paladins. A chance encounter with Griffin, another teleporter, reveals the existence of a secret war between jumpers and paladins, echoing the conflict between Jedi and Sith in Star Wars. An interesting fact about this movie is that director Doug Liman filmed scenes in over 20 locations in 14 countries, capturing the essence of a world within another, a fitting parallel to David's extraordinary journey through space and time. End of the fun fact. Continuing, while David pondered his predicament, his mother, Mary, unexpectedly appeared, handing him a key to his handcuffs. She warned him of impending danger and disappeared before he could get answers. David chased after her but lost her in the chaos. He reunited with Millie at the airport, where he insisted they part ways for safety. Disheartened, Millie boarded her flight alone, and David's life took another unexpected turn. Meanwhile, Roland, pretending to be an IRS agent, confronted David's father, William. William, irritated and uncooperative, insisted he hadn't seen David in years and recounted how Mary left them when David was just 5 years old. Roland's persistence was met with resistance, but the encounter set a somber tone. Learning of the danger, David teleported to Griffin's hideout, discovering a wall full of information about the Paladins, religious fanatics determined to eradicate jumpers, believing teleportation to be a divine power reserved for God. With his father and Millie in imminent danger, David rescued an unconscious William, taking him to a hospital before returning to Griffin. Despite Griffin's reluctance, David's determination to confront Roland set them on a collision course with destiny. David's desperate attempt to warn Millie backfired when Roland and his men arrived at her apartment. David, revealing his jumper abilities, teleported them both to Griffin's hideout, inadvertently leading the Paladins to their door. A fierce battle ensued, with David and Roland teleporting through various locations, reminiscent of Terminator 2. The fight culminated with Griffin using a bus to try to crush Roland, only to see the relentless Paladin narrowly escape. With Millie captured and the Paladin's portal machine operational, David faced insurmountable odds. In a twist, David teleported the entire apartment, including the Paladins, to a lake, neutralizing most of the threat, and finally left Roland in the Grand Canyon. Another interesting fact, Hayden Christensen and Rachel Bilson, who played David and Millie, started dating during the production of the movie, adding a layer of real-life romance to their on-screen chemistry. Not sure if you found this tidbit interesting, but I did. Anyway, when the dust settled, David found his mother, Mary, who revealed her identity as a paladin. Her decision to leave when David first teleported was to protect him from their relentless pursuit. In a moment reminiscent of Star Wars, where Luke confronts his parentage, David asked what would happen next. Mary, with a poignant mix of regret and determination, gave him an edge. Reuniting with Millie, David decided to embrace the uncertain future. They held hands, shared a knowing smile, and teleported, leaving the past behind. I really wish this movie had a sequel, but due to its lack of popularity and negative reviews, it didn't happen. Comment if you wanted a sequel and if you enjoyed watching it. Hope you all are well, and see you next time.
I tell you, it was perfect. Perfect.